Back now with some improvement in the nation's numbers when it comes to deadly overdoses. After decades of increases, 2024 saw a drop. And one Virginia expert on the subject says there's a very good reason why that decline happened. 10 on your side's Chris Horn joins us now with more. Chris?
Aisha, across the country, drug overdose deaths are down 4%. Here in Virginia, they're down 2%. The Department of Health says those numbers prove that their efforts are paying off. The latest news from the CDC is good news for the Virginia Department of Health.
It tells us that we're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing, which is really training the community, giving them education on how to recognize and respond to an overdose, and then giving them the tools that they need.
This is one of those tools. The opioid reversal drug known as Narcan is showing up in more places, including vending machines on college campuses. LaDio says that kind of access saves lives, especially among young people.
They can feel, more equipped to be empowered and respond to an overdose if they see it in their friends. It's much more accessible than it ever was 10 years ago. Now there's a big focus on Narcan saturation in our communities.
Another factor in the encouraging data about drug deaths: Good Samaritan laws that shield people from prosecution if they report someone in crisis.
Any measures, laws, policies that are in place that reduce the stigma regarding substance use, these are going to help prevent people from feeling like they can't speak up.
Nationally, the 4% decrease in overdose deaths was the first decrease since 2018. While deaths were down among Americans aged 15 to 24, the number of older Americans 65 and above actually went up by more than 1%. In Virginia, meanwhile, deaths were down for a total of nearly 2,500. 8 out of every 10 Virginia deaths were connected to fentanyl. And the Department of Health says it's also concentrating on what it calls harm reduction. That includes resources for people to determine whether the drugs they're using are laced with fentanyl or other deadly substances. We have a link to this information on wavy.com. Chris Horn, 10 on your side.